Well, it sounds like Christmas.
It was awesome.
Welcome to Acute Media Live. I have Zach Elmore with me. I guess it's this afternoon or this early evening or this evening, or I don't know how people do that. But anyway, welcome, man. It's nice to have you on. We were talking about your connection with Together Lost and how much fun that show was. So hopefully we'll get some funny comments because we had a great time on that show. Now, you were at that. Was that a festival or just what was that I was supposed to go to that you'd played?
Yeah, we did. We partnered with Hidden Valley Motocross in Daniels or Glen Daniels, and we did a suicide prevention.
That's
like
cool,
big
yeah.
rally so we had a few acoustic acts, and then as the night progressed, it was more like punk, alternative, and then metal, of course, because we had Dragged, Together Lost, Elderbug, Stress Fracture, some pretty cool guys.
Yeah. Now, was it super hot? I can't remember how the weather was that day.
Oh, it was miserable.
Because I know it's been hot in the state, recently, but last couple of days hasn't been bad. I guess because
yeah.
But yeah, I was actually I wasn't comfortable either. I mean, like I was hot also basically. I wasn't in paradise. I wish I would have came down, but I had something that came up last minute, and it was this. I actually see everything's backwards. It's like a weather guy. It's Confessions of a Traitor. They're from London. Actually, I want to show you the back. The back's awesome. If I can you see that?
Oh, that is awesome.
The lead singer Steve and his girlfriend is a tattoo artist back in London, and she drew that. And I was like, I've got to get that shirt. So they all signed it and stuff. Anyway, they're, like I said, they're from London, and I've had them on the show twice. And it was just it was like the week after I had Together Lost on that they had posted that they were coming to North America for a tour. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, but I got to go. I can't make it to your show. I told them. And so I will make it to one, But I could have met you also. I mean, I missed everything,
Oh, no,
it's all good. The building where they played in Fremont, Ohio had no air conditioning, so yeah, I was burning up also. So, But you kind of put that aside, when you're playing a show or when you're watching a show, you kind of put your, I don't know. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's comfortable that you're in that space with all these musicians and stuff. Was it kind of like that for you there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A lot of the bands, I didn't mention Code Red News, Atheotic, trying to remember everybody, Dalton Boggs, Hunter Chambers. We were the acoustic acts, Blue Shell Paradox. It was just cool because a lot of us, well, not everyone from that group, but a lot of us kind of grew up in the same hometown, have different music interests and music projects going on. So to get everybody together and play like that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Now, was there anybody that you hadn't seen in a long time that you saw that you kind of like talked to, but you just haven't seen in person for a while?
Probably since last year. The people at Elderbug, they're super cool.
Yeah.
They're a band from Johnson City, Tennessee. They're really
Ah,
cool. They got some cool
I've never
music.
been to Johnson City, but a band I've had on the show, and I'm really good friends with now. Curses, they're from Princeton, and
Okay, yeah.
they go to Johnson City quite a bit. Actually, their show got canceled, the one that I think was for this weekend, but they get down there quite a bit and play with a band called I'll have to think about. I can't remember the name of the band, but they're from shoot. Oh, Ham Radio. Ham Radio is from like
Oh
that
yeah,
area.
yeah.
So they're all friends and stuff. So they get down there. But yeah, I've never. Have you been down to Johnson City?
I've not like actually been. Probably when I was younger. My grandpa and my dad were like they went around preaching all the time. So it's like
Nice.
I was always in the back of a car. So
Yeah. Oh, like stuck. I mean, could you get out if you wanted to?
oh, if I wanted to, probably, but they knew me well enough. They put the child locks on. So
Oh, you were you like a kind of like a preacher's son then, right?
oh yeah, for sure.
Because I grew up with a few of the preacher's kids, and it seems like they're more ornery than the ones that aren't. You know.
For sure. I think I was the less ornery of the three of us,
Yeah.
my brother and sister. But that's actually what the one song, "Life Without Meaning," is kind of like that progression of belief in a way. It's not losing it, just kind of reevaluating it as I got older, I guess. So
I really like the Watchmen. Who's watching the Watchmen? I've listened to that several times, and
thanks, man.
I mean, like I was telling you before we started, my genre that I like, my go-to genre is more like heavy rock. I wouldn't say metal because that's more like, I like the screaming, but the singing also. So
Yeah.
I can tolerate that. But I mean, I can tolerate all kinds of music really,
Mhm.
and but this stuff is really good. You have a really very nice voice, and the guitar is spot on.
Thanks, man.
And you did some covers on the album also, right?
Yeah, I did Viva La Vida. Yeah,
Yeah,
but everything else is original.
yeah. Viva La Vida is not a like clocks. I can kind of play on guitar,
Hmm.
except for the progression stuff because I just strum. I don't pick through anything hardly, and so Coldplay's got to be kind of difficult to play, but you kind of put your own spin on it also, didn't you?
Yeah, I try to like I learned that I had a lot of awesome opportunities growing up. My dad was a bass player since he was 8. My mom played piano. So it was just cool to see their like spin on different songs and I saw how they made it individualistic and I just wanted to always do that. So I put like little fret runs in like that beginning of Viva La Vida. I do that or I just like hit the E minor and go straight back into the A from a like it's I guess it's fretting up, but yeah, I mean, I love being able to work with it. I'll sit and for hours and just do that stuff. And my friends pick on me. They're like, you're ridiculous." I'm like, "No, I just want it to sound unique and good too,
Yeah,
because it can
yeah.
sound unique but not too good, or it can sound good but not like oh, it's something like I've heard before." So
Well, tell me a little bit about how you started. Like, how did you? I mean, I know you were kind of brought up in music, but when was the time that you said, I really want to play acoustic guitar. I just want to play guitar and I want to sing and I want to make an album. Like, when did this all come about?
like I would say my brother is like a jack of all trades. Like he anything that dude picks up, he can just play. He's the marching band director at our old high school
Nice. I
now.
was in a marching band in high school and in
Heck
college,
yeah.
actually, and in
What'd you
college.
play?
Trombone.
Heck yeah, man. I was drumline.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was friends with a lot of drum lines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
drum liners.
We he was just I don't know, he was just something about him. He's always been driven to just play instruments. And I was super jealous. I was like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. So when he picked up guitar, I picked up guitar, and there was about a 3 year difference, and we both played drums together too. And then I started playing piano. It was just kind of a steady progression of like once I felt comfortable with an instrument, I moved on to another one, and
How many
just kind
different ones can you play? Do you think?
of piano, guitar, drums, bass. Just those are the main four that I like.
See, I
Really
can't
have
get the bass. I cannot get it. I just can't. And everybody says, if you play bass, you can play guitar.
Yeah.
Sometimes people tell a bass player that, but I'm, I can't. There's none of strings, and plus, I strum. I don't pick, so
Yeah.
I can't. You can't. You could strum on a bass, but it's not going to sound terrific,
Yeah.
and it's not really. So I don't know. I just never got. I just. You guys do it. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I
for sure,
can't.
man.
Can't.
It was probably around high school, I guess. My dad, like I said, he's been playing bass since he was 8. He would put on Elvis records and just play bass with them.
Oh yeah, that's the best too.
Yeah,
So
man.
Do you like Elvis? I mean, are you sick of it now that you had to
Oh
hear
no,
it?
I mean I still love it. Like I'll go back and listen to my dad has this big story about he sang karaoke at the fair with Kentucky Rain. It was like in the late 90s, and everyone's like, is that Elvis? It's like I bet
Oh,
it
that's funny.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Elvis is still alive? Let's get into
I
let's get
hope
into
so.
conspiracies. Let's just dive right into
Dude,
conspiracies.
I'm for it, man. I'm for it. I think so.
You think so? I mean, like it's the same thing as like you think Tupac's still alive. It's the same kind of
Yeah, there
Kurt
was
Cobain or you know.
my dad had these like VHS sets, and it was like the fourth video, and it was like the Elvis conspiracy, and I would watch that all the time because it was like this grainy photo that obviously wasn't Elvis, but it like zoomed in on the guys like, is this Elvis? Like, no, it's not. Like, I'm glad you can think it is, you know.
Now, my friend Pete stopped over here last night. I was putting LED headlights in my truck, which I don't know why I didn't do this a long time ago. Like you can see way better. Anyway, he stopped over to help me do that. Well, he comes in here and he picks up the guitar and he starts playing Santeria by Sublime. And he goes, "Do you know? It was just like last week that I found out that like it was on the news or something. He's like, I found out that Bradley Knoll died. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Like you didn't know that? He's like, mm-mm. Nope. But I was like, where have you been under a rock or? But I mean, because he plays guitar all the time. He's in a band. You know, he plays bass in that same band sometimes, and it's just so he's very well rounded musically. How could you not know that? You know, some people I tell my parents this all the time. There's some people I just don't know how they get through the day. You know, like how do you, especially driving. There's some I don't know if you get like that too, but I can't just the way people drive. I don't know how they even get down the road.
Yeah.
Safely. You know, it's just amazing. You already have comments in the chat room.
Oh.
Um. Okay, I'll read it before I tell you who it is. That way, you might be able to.
Okay.
I love Zach Elmore. I would die for his music. With a heart, I think. No, not with a heart.
Either Dalton Boggs, Hunter Chambers, Eric Massey, or Devin Carr.
Devin Carr.
Yep.
Devin Carr. Here, we can do this right here.
I would die for Together Lost music.
And I don't know if Blake Carr is any relation to Devin Carr, but he put a heart in the.
Yeah, they're brothers. They're from Together Lost.
I figured they were. I don't recognize these guys. They must have been in the band before. Is it which one was Bathtub Bobby? I don't even remember his real name.
That's
I started calling him that. You know.
I think that's what he should change his legal name to.
I think it should. Yeah, for sure. And then send me the royalties for that.
Absolutely. You get a cut you a check.
What was his name? What's his name?
Waylon Mann.
Waylon, that's right. Yeah. Which is even. I don't know what's better, Bathtub Bobby or Waylon, because
Waylon's pretty sweet. It's just there's another drag has a Waylon too, so I think changing his name to Bathtub Bobby would really help with the confusion.
Like legally would be terrific.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about that thing where Subway was going to pay somebody to change their name to Subway?
No.
Yeah, like I don't know if anybody like I don't know how much money or it wasn't a money thing. It was they were going to give them like free Subway for life.
Oh,
I don't.
man.
It's not very tempting, really, but I guess some people would to legally change their name to Subway.
There was an article that came out a few years ago. Like Subway had to create a whole website that said, "Yes, our tuna is real." And it's like once you've done that, you've pretty much lost the battle. You know, like
yeah. If you have to tell people it's real, it's probably not. You know.
Yeah.
You would think. Devin said, "I'm so happy that you guessed me," with the emoji with the hearts around it. You know. And then there's another one in here that says, well, see, I can't say it like that because then you're gonna know. Oh, okay. Can't believe my cousin hit the prime time. So I guess that could be any cousin.
It's Dalton.
You know? Damn. Well, I got to do that. Well, see, there's no other way. There's no way I could have gotten around that one. You know,
Yeah.
You can't put the answer in it. Well,
he was one of the artists Saturday. He did super awesome. I think he's currently working on putting together his EP. So be looking out for that.
All of you guys that play music, I know Together Lost have been on here, and they're more than welcome to come back. But you know, I would love to have these West Virginia natives because you know when I started doing the show 3 years ago, I just celebrated 3 years, and when I first started doing it, I was just wanting to do like local and regional, or like you know the border states. A lot, or just around here, basically, just featured all those bands. Well, it kind of didn't work that way. It turned into more of national and then international. I mean, I've done 13 different countries and several in certain countries, which is
Yeah.
awesome in itself. But it might be the start of something good where we can feature musicians. Now
Yeah,
that
for sure.
now that my because I think the reason why was bands around here, they want to reach that's reaching somewhere else. They want
Yeah.
to be on a show that's not here, that's reaching their market. And I
Mhm.
think I kind of have that now. I do have viewers. I have a viewer from Canada, and she watches all the time. I do have people that watch, from other countries at a different time of day because usually it's, if the show's 8 o'clock and they're 5 hours ahead, it's like 2 a.m. So they'll watch it later on. So I think I do kind of have a reach somewhere else. So that's
Yeah.
where maybe it is a good time to try to fire those bands back up. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not talking like Davis and Brothers. I mean, they're just kind of they get their own attention. Like they would
Yeah.
give me a lot though. That would be terrific to have them on.
That'd be pretty sweet, man.
Or like Tim McGraw. I mean, I could probably do lots for that guy. He's I don't think he's doing very good. Who was it that put that song out that got all that flack recently? Was it Worley or
Jason Aldean, was that who?
was
it
it
is?
him? I don't listen to country, so I don't really know what's. I just
One of
know
my buddies made a
somebody
joke
was in the
about
news
him.
a lot for something recently.
Yeah, there was like, I don't know. They made a joke about it. His song is something about like try that in a small town, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what it was. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So I mean, I think I could help those guys if they wanted to be on the Keep Me Alive. We talk wieners and everything would be fine.
That's the number one like
Yeah.
career high. It's like we talked wieners.
Yeah, there you go. Put it on your resume. Let's see. Dalton says, "What the hell?" Does he not know how to say like spell the? Okay.
He does. He's the older cousin, but I
Oh,
call him
so he's got to act.
cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do that. I do that too. This guy's psychic. I think he's just responding to things we're saying because he just put yeah actually lol yeah actually lol. But I mean that could have been anything we were
That could have
talking
been
about.
anything. Yeah.
And then he said, "I'm messing with the audio now." No, you're not. I control the audio. I control the audio. Well, so Dalton should be on here then, right? Is that what you're saying? Dalton
Yeah,
should
dude,
be on.
absolutely.
Okay, so Dalton, hit me up. And let's see, Dragged. I think I did talk to one of those guys. I don't think I sent them the email yet, but there's wasn't there another band together?
Blue Shell Paradox.
Yes, and
Doesn't
them.
have them on. They're
Let's have
awesome.
all of them on at the same time. Would that be possible?
That'd be hilarious.
Or would that be chaotic? Would that be too much wieners?
I think honestly it'd be awesome.
You can
That
go.
would be fantastic.
You can help me control them.
Oh, that would just watch.
Be the moderator. Well, speaking of controlling, Tracy's gonna like this. Tracy, my friend Tracy, was supposed to co-host with me today for the show, but she called off. Basically, is what happened. No,
Okay.
she's doing this big festival or something, and has to get up early in the morning. The show's at 6 o'clock. It's not like we're doing it at 11. So
Yeah.
she just didn't want to come over. That's what it was. So he said, "I got to act." I just dropped my. He said, "I got to act scrappy." That's what
He will
Dalton-
act scrappy if you have him on.
he will act scrappy. Well, that's
Mhm.
good. That needs a little bit of some uppity goodness around here.
He's got probably, this is the best way I can phrase it without it sounding bad. He's got some of the best unique energy I've ever seen. Like I love him to pieces.
Like for example, can you make an example, or is it just too hard to?
If you're in a Walmart and there are people, everyone is talking or just like moving around like a regular Walmart, you could hear his laugh from the other end of the Walmart.
Is it like real high pitched?
It's very, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it starts and then it can't stop and then it
That's
starts to
terrific.
get higher. It's pretty unique.
Sounds like a soundbite I really want to have for the show.
You for sure.
Especially like people make the joke and they think it's funny and crickets, and then you just put that soundbite on.
Yeah, that would be it.
The sky's the limit from here.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yes, but I would love to have all the everybody. If I could have everybody from West Virginia on that plays music, that'd be a lot of people.
Yeah, dude.
But can't get everybody. Well, it's too early to do the wiener segment because that's something you got to wait on.
Special.
You already know what it is. We're not gonna act like
Yeah,
you don't
dude, for
because
sure.
you watched the Together show. So we want to act like you don't know what it is. So we'll talk hot dogs a little bit later. What's Dalton? I'm gonna have to balk him. He's blowing it up. Dalton all the way up. No, I'm kidding. Imagine a hyena, but louder. He says for his
That's
laugh.
facts. Yep.
I like it. Yeah, let's do this, Dalton. Let's work together on this. Let's get you on the show, and then we'll talk the soundbite, and then maybe I can't pay anything for your laugh, but I don't make any money doing this.
Just buy him, like, get him a Sheets gift card
For like $5.
for sure.
That's
Honestly,
a discount, though. I mean, that's the same as a discount.
Not even $5, like just a penny, like that would be enough.
He one of the ones that eats the hot dogs at Sheets because he thinks they're delicious.
Dude, no, I eat the hot dogs at Sheets because they're cheap, not because they're delicious.
Yeah, because their chili sucks. It's awful. I think it's the same chili that they put on the taco salad and the nachos.
I used to, when I was in college, I rated how much things were or how expensive something was and related it to what I could buy at Sheets. So if like a $60 game, I'd be like, man, that's like 40 hot dogs and 2 buckets of food.
Hey, it's a good way to learn math, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't even learn in college.
I still count on my fingers, and I have to use a calculator. And they made it way easier because I have a phone with a calculator.
I mean,
terrific. I'm winning. Well, let's take a listen to Life Without Meaning, since we're talking about Sheets. No, I'm kidding. And then we'll talk a little bit about what you do for a living, because I want to dive into that a little bit. But what's this song about?
It's mainly about, I guess I kind of transitioned in a period moving from one church to another. And there was a point where we were kind of in a hiatus of it, trying to figure out the best place for us. And that was just kind of, it starts out from where I was as a younger person, I guess as like a teenager, into my adulthood, and how that transition looks spiritually, I guess. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's take a listen to it. This is from, and I keep forgetting to ask you, and I'm going to go ahead and ask you because I'll forget again. What is the meaning of the album title?
I've had that name for an album since I was 16.
Tarzan and the Minivan.
Yep. I wanted, it was awesome to have, Dalton did the logo, and then Hunter Chambers did the artwork. I mean, he's just awesome. They both are. And I've just had that idea forever. And that's really where it started. I was like, if I ever release an EP 11 years later, that's what it's going to be. It's Tarzan and the Minivan. So,
I mean, that's one of the reasons I had to get a hold of you. I was like, I've got to know what this means. It's just out. It's like what's that website you can like look up like band names or something, and it'll just come up with 2 words of nothing.
Oh yeah, like a generator.
I had one on. It was like Milk and First, because you got it kind of like that. It's like, it doesn't mean anything, but I thought it was something like that. But that's even better.
Somebody was like, I can't believe you don't have a track named Tarzan, and the movie was like, no, it's just
you gotta have a title track. Well, you can work on it now, because now people are asking.
Absolutely.
It's wanted now.
Yeah,
your fans want that song. I'll help you write it. Me and Dalton.
I'll take it, man.
He can just laugh in the background, like I can kind of hear it. But now that he says hyena, it's like hee, something like that. Or
yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna make it soundbite. Is what we're gonna do when he comes on. All right. Here's Life Without Meaning.
I was told from a young age, life is better around the sun, so I would run to the highest peaks and cliffs, quietly observe, attempt to catch a glimpse, to make more sense out of this space rock I'm floating on, and this purpose that I've been given. I was told from this young age, life has meaning around the sun, so I studied up, tried to jump in to understand, but got the wind knocked out of me over and over again as I searched for purpose on this rock that I'm floating on, and this headspace that I'm starting to find myself in. told from this young age, it's not easy around the sun. No, they weren't wrong. Unruly pride and destructive piety from those who claimed his saintly sanctuary. I yearned to find a place where I could thrive, somewhere my talents would not fall by the wayside, somewhere where I could give back much greater than I, not be ashamed to search for spiritual substance that could satisfy. I was told from this young age, life means nothing without the sun, so I pressed on through the hurt and the brokenness. I heard the call to lead, but given pseudo leadership. What is my purpose on this rock that I'm floating on? My heart is heavy, this headspace is falling in and falling apart. I was told from a young age, life has meaning around the sun, but I'm just numb. I'm so cold and indifferent. I want to understand, but I feel so damaged from these long past, long-lasting experiences with those saints who claim they were close to the sun, but wouldn't know Jesus Christ if he was standing right in front of them. Woo! I see that as a critique of the modern church. I just see a young man confused and especially hurt, plans and aspirations to help carry the load, but hindsight tells me it was my time to pack up and go. Now I question every thought and decision I made. Is my life a story that'll one day fade? I've absolved myself from all of this irrational guilt, but there are times where I still wish I were close to the sun, like I know I was. I know that it can be done, being close to the sun and not being burned.
That's really good. It's very well recorded too. Did you do all the recording?
No, I did. I went to a buddy of mine, Seth Green. Shout out to him. He rules.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds, you can hear every little, I don't know how you explain it, every sound of the pick and every sound, not every sound of not like the contaminated sounds, but you know, you can hear it sounds authentic, you know, like you are actually really playing that, you know, it's not like a backtrack or anything, you know, it sounds phenomenal.
I heard a band live and they sucked. And I was just like, not that I feel like it's indicative of like the culture right now, where it's like I have to like produce this perfect piece, and I loved doing that with Seth because it didn't have to be like I recorded them all one take, like, and if I messed up I would just do the entire thing again because I wanted it to mimic as authentic as I could what it would be like if you came and heard me. Because
So you didn't play the guitar first as a track and then go back and sing over top?
I played it all together. Yeah.
Wow. And that's I find that difficult, because I'm doing some stuff now, and I I don't know whether I'm just thinking too much about it, but I'm trying to play harder things also, because it's that acoustic guitar going with grungy electric guitars. Not really that grungy, but it's that sound, and so I'm trying to do more picking and more delaying and things like that, and I cannot when I go to write the lyrics, then I can't sit and play it at the same time, and I'm going to have to if I'm going to play it out,
Yeah.
and so I'm kind of forcing myself to learn that, and I'm getting it, it's a lot of practice, but yeah, it's very difficult to record something like that perfectly without messing up something.
Yeah.
Something, and that's pretty. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do that, singer-songwriters. There has to be, because
I'm sure I didn't
they
do
have
well.
to play it out like that, right? They have to,
Yeah,
like
oh
you're saying, you
yeah.
gotta
I
play
mean,
live.
I got to the point like that one, Watchmen was a big one, and then Mr. Buzzkill. There was a lot that I kept running through. I was like, I messed up again. And finally, because I'm just a perfectionist like that, and I was just like, I've got to just record it and just walk away from it. So I'm glad that it turned out the way it did.
That's the toughest thing too. I don't. I'm sure everybody runs into it. But my buddy Rob is actually doing the recording for this stuff, and he's also playing guitar on it. And we have one coming out on the 1st of September, and there's one section, just one little measure where the note's wrong, and I knew that it was electric guitar because that's what Rob plays. I knew it was that, but I didn't want to say anything because nobody wants it to be them,
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have the ear for music the same way I have the ear for it. Like this, when things are off key a little bit, and it wasn't terrible, but it was bad enough to where nothing else is playing. It was almost like a changeover note to the next section, but it wasn't. It was the end of a stanza of lyrics.
Yeah.
So, I'm holding that note out, and he's changing the note as I'm holding the note out, and it just didn't sound. So we're sitting here last night, and I'm like, there's a spot, because I've been trying to find it as we listen to it to get it mixed up, and he's like, where? He's like, I don't hear anything. I was like, so he starts taking instruments out, So he started with acoustic with me, and it can't be me because I'm playing the same 4 notes the entire song. It's just the same 4, just in different progressions, So we got through that. Then my buddy Jay in Pittsburgh, he added keys and bass on it. So he went to the keys, and it wasn't the keys, it wasn't the bass, and he goes, I don't hear it. I was like, Rob, turn the electric guitar on. He didn't want to turn that track on, Like I was like, and I knew it the whole time. I just didn't want to. I wanted him to see if he could hear it, right?
Yeah.
So it gets to that part, and it was noticeable, like because he had it turned up, and I was like, "You don't hear that?" And he goes, "I don't know where." I was like, "Seriously, you don't hear that because it's," but he doesn't, he doesn't have a good hearing anyway out of one ear, but the other ear's got to be fine. I mean, come on, man. but it was just, but he finally got it. And I was like, you don't have to redo it. I was like, it's just that measure, that only. I said, what you do, because he's going into a solo, but he's doing. I think he was bending the string. When you bend it, it's going to come out a little. It just wasn't. He had a tough time, and I had a tough time telling him because my buddy and everything. But I can't. I don't want to release it like that because it doesn't sound right. Other people will get that. Let's see. There's a band. I'm pretty sure it's Zach Neese that did. He did one of our music videos for Natural Cause, but he's in a band called Tell No Tales out of Morgantown, and he's in the chat right now. Hi, Zach. And he says props for doing it. It's so hard to play and sing at the same time. So he knows.
Yep.
He's a bass player. I'm not sure if he plays guitar. I'm sure he does, but at some point. But yeah. It is difficult to do that. So yeah, I give you mad props for that because, I mean, I can do it. I have songs that I wrote a long time ago that I can sit and play like that. But I'm trying to challenge myself to make it more difficult to do.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm doing that to myself, but I am.
I feel like it's definitely more difficult with the ones that are fresh too. Like the ones that you've written. I mean, like you can sit down and pick up just like a cover, but if it's fresh in your mind, it's like, I'm still trying to get the movements down.
Yeah, and where the lyrics go and everything
together. Yeah.
And my other problem is I know and this is your show, so we're gonna go to you in a second.
Oh, dude, no, you're fine, man.
But no, I can't. What I really need to practice is playing and standing up. I sit down, and so does Rob. Rob plays sitting down also, and he plays electric, But I maybe we'll be the only band that sits down. I mean, I don't know, but
Be pretty cool.
I mean, the drummer gets to sit down. Why can't we sit down?
Exactly, dude.
Sit down, but we'll have him stand up the whole time.
It gives it a more like chilled out vibe.
It does. I mean, the music's not really that, but it's. But it can. I mean, the one that's coming out the first is more. It's 95 beats a minute, so it's very slow. That's why I don't understand how I didn't hear that. I mean, it's an entire measure. Hopefully he'll fix it. I don't know, but it's. I can't imagine being a producer like that. Where you have to listen to everybody. The band's artist's concern and what they want to change, and even if you don't think it needs changed, they want to change it. You have to. I mean, they're paying you, so. I wouldn't be good at that. But I am a very, very hard, it's hard to get slip anything by me. Kind of like that one measure. I can't let that go. That's got to be fixed. Gotta be fixed. Anyway, so okay, so you're telling me before we started, you're a teacher.
Yeah.
What grades do you teach before you tell me what you teach?
It's 7th grade.
The brutal stages of life, right?
Yep, absolutely.
The awkward stages, I think, is what because everybody's, you got everybody going through puberty and changes, and girls are asking why are they growing these things on their chest, and I don't know, I try not to think about that stuff, but it is the awkward stage, so it's got to be a very difficult group of kids to teach, and you teach history, which is not a very now they still call it social studies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does that even mean? What does social studies even mean?
I assumed. I never got the answer in college.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's what.
Yeah, that's just how to interact with people on social media.
Yeah.
I guess just the study of social norms, and I that's what I would think. I don't know. I should probably know because I teach it. But.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they ever called it that, but yeah, I mean, what it is. It's history. It's. You're teaching everything to do. Zach guessed. He said he either teaches science or math. I bet. You got it. Well, you probably could because you have to be kind of well rounded, right? With
I could not do math. I teach with like the best educators in the state. Mallory McPherson, Carson Dussault, Janet Miller. They rock. Like I'm super thankful to be in the school I'm in. I could not.
Which one are you in? Which one are you?
Peterstown Middle School.
Peterstown Middle School. What's the mascot?
The pirate.
The pirate. Oh, is it the Pirates?
Yeah, the Peterstown Pirates. Yeah.
Peterstown Pirates. Peter Pirates. I mean Peterstown Pirates. I'm sure that the students probably make fun of their own mascot, don't they?
For sure.
I would. Now let's talk discipline, okay?
Okay.
So if there's a child named Zach Neese in your class, that's the guy from Telling the Tales. Mm-hmm. If there's a guy named Zach Neese and he was really, really acting up in class, what's the first thing you do? You warn them first?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, that's the going back to that. Like,
I'm not auditing you or anything. I'm just kind of asking.
Oh, no, dude, you're fine, man. I would probably kick him for sure.
You'd kick him out? Just
because his name is my name.
Oh yeah, but he can't call you by your first name though. He's got to call you Mr. Elmore. Is that what they call you? All of them?
Yeah. When I started student teaching, I was in the same school as my brother, and to delineate, they called me Mr. E, like mystery, and that's
cool. Yeah.
Well, they were referencing a SpongeBob episode, so it's like.
Yeah, but I mean, I gotta. Come on, Zach. I've got to. Why would they? Oh. Okay, it flagged. He messes. Got to spank me, and it flagged that. It's so stupid.
They don't do that anymore. As much as you want it, they don't do it.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, if you even touch them.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, well, parents also. If parents touch them, it's abuse. Yeah. I got my butt spanked a bunch of times, and I still didn't learn anything. I know my mom and dad's probably watching. One of the others probably watching. So they're gonna text me. They don't get in the chat room. Even though that'd be the easiest way for them to talk to me directly right now, So, but I'll get on because my phone's the camera, And so I'll see it when we're done. She responded to something that I said on the show. That's not how it works. You have to.
You have to text in the chat.
Yes, it's more fun that way. Let's see. Oh, he says we spell our names different, so it's okay.
Well, that's fair.
How do you spell yours? Maybe his is with just a C. That's the weird Zach's. When they spell it with a K or with no H, that's the weird ones, you know?
Yeah, I would say so. One of my
laziness.
best.
Laziness is what it is.
Yeah,
laziness.
Mine's Zachariah, so I'd much rather go by Zach.
Yeah, and Zachariah is spelled with an H, so I don't think there's any Zachariahs with a K unless somebody's trying to
be different and cool.
Go viral or something. What's Zach put R, matey. And who's Chunk Man? That's a new one. We got a Chunk Man in the house. Chunk Man. Somebody's name's Chunk Man. Do you know any Chunk Man?
I don't know many chunky men.
Sonic Mania, my friend. Well, it's not Sonic. I don't know who Chunk Man is. Chunk Man. Oh yeah, he spells his Z-A-K. That's even lazier. Z-A-K.
Oh, wow.
He said it extra weird. So at least he acknowledges that it's weird. So that's cool. No, Tell No Tales, I believe, put out a new song. You have to correct me on that. I think that or it's coming out, or did I miss it? Because like I said, that song I played at the beginning came out in June, and it's new to me. You know, it just takes me forever. People put out new stuff all the time, and I can't keep up with everybody. It's just me. You know?
Oh yeah, especially having like the many people you've had and trying to keep up with all.
You are 213, so yeah, it's quite a few to get to. And I follow Instagram more than Facebook. I hate Facebook. I don't like it at all. I don't even think I posted your. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Are you on Facebook?
I share memes. That's about it. I don't actually do serious stuff.
I get stuck on the meme page because there's one called Assholes Anonymous that I pay attention to, and it's funny. He said it came out today, the Tell No Tales song, and they still haven't been on the show. So come on, Zach. Everybody else is doing it.
Just got called out.
What is it?
Just got called out, dude.
Yeah, of course. I mean, hey, he's watching. You might as well be on the show. You know.
Fair.
He could have been on with you, and then we could have two Zachs. We had two Tylers. Who was that last show? Who was on the last? See, I don't even remember who was on the last show. I always look forward to the next one. Speaking of the next one, I'll go ahead and say get that out of the way. Sunday is I have another show on Sunday at 4 p.m. with In Shallow Seas from Baltimore. The whole time I was because we kind of scheduled it like a month ago, and the whole time I thought they were from Pittsburgh. And I kept saying that, and then I just looked the other day and on their profile, and they're from Baltimore. So I was way off. But I guess, in Pittsburgh, Baltimore, it's all the same, kind of. One of them's closer to the ocean than the other. It says, I'm waiting on Jimmy to have a free day. We don't need Jimmy we don't need Jimmy for anything. We don't need Jimmy. You know how many times I have like one person from an entire band on the show, or two people, It's just impossible to get an entire band together, And when they do get together, it's for practice. They're practicing.
Yeah.
They're practicing. They can't be on a Keep Me Alive because they're practicing. Yeah, that's why. It's fun though. I have a lot of fun doing this. Okay. So you teach history. And I was telling you about the I like a lot of like the Civil War history. Like I did my social studies fair project, because I don't know why it's social studies, but my social studies fair project was Abraham Lincoln.
Heck yeah, dude.
That was fun, and the whole assassination, and I had, I think I had a cup. I had some kind of something. I think it was a cup that my grandparents had this with his face on it that I used in my. Did you ever? Do they still even do the fairs where you have to put up the big board?
In the bigger like cities and counties, they do. We haven't done one in ours in a pretty long time. I'd be down to do it, but
you should get it going again. Yeah, take a. Are you the only social studies teacher, or is there two of them?
There's a 8th grade West Virginia history, and then from 7th down, it just is kind of a core subject. So like with a K6 degree, you can teach any of the 4 subjects, but after 7th grade, it has to be like singular. Your degree has to be like social studies or science or math or English.
Yeah. So do you like it then? It sounds like you love it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love it. I got the opportunity to teach a little bit at the high school, and then I taught special education for 2 years. and this is my third year teaching social studies at this middle school. It's just an
Do
awesome.
you like this age group, or would you like to do something else?
I would love to teach high school again, just because I feel like that's the higher level, like conversations you can have. Like we were talking before the show about like
Yeah.
the rights versus privilege thing. Like that's an awesome conversation to start, but they've not really understood a little bit of it. But when they're 16, 17, they kind of get it because they're about to step into it, you know?
Right. Yeah. And you're kind of giving them a little foundation on
Yeah,
stuff that they can check out. And yeah, is it getting? I know you hear a lot about the news about the. I don't like to get into politics and things like that, but there's a lot in the news about things that can be taught and can't be taught or taught, not taught. I wasn't a journalism major, no. But there's a lot of things that are being new laws are being passed about things that you probably have an idea what I'm talking about. I just don't want to bring that up the conversation.
Oh no, you're good, man.
Focusing on that, but is it getting like that for curriculums and things for you and for all teachers really with all curriculum? I guess is it getting kind of like that where you're changing things that you're allowed to teach and you're not allowed to teach?
I haven't seen a push for it or like a move in our state, but I've definitely like kept up with the news where some places are like blocking specific types of curriculum, which I feel like is more like Orwellian, I guess. Like it's kind of like George Orwell, but
Yeah.
I just feel like if you block off certain aspects of history you don't like, that's just, I mean, I feel like it's a disservice to the generation that's coming up. Like they need to know the good and the bad so that they can learn from both. Thinking that you're a perfect society just yields horrible people because like, oh, we did everything right, and then they screw something up. How could this have happened?
I mean, it's kind of like the statues that they're bringing down in Richmond is the one that comes to mind. Like the Civil War statues that they're tearing down because of certain things that somebody read about in a book or something that this person did in history. Well, it's been there for 150 years, and you just now want to take it down. I mean, it's just like I don't understand. In Clarksburg here, where I grew up, they there's a right on the courthouse steps is Stonewall Jackson because he was born in Clarksburg, and there was talks of taking that down, and that's been there. That's like the face. I think the news has that on their. The local news has that on their like credits or something, just showing that. So it's like it hasn't bugged anybody for this long since it's been there. What'd be the point of taking it out?
Yeah, I'm like
your feelings basically. For some stupid reason. Yeah,
I think that it's more like I've had a really good discussion about it with another teacher at the school. He's a retired colonel from the Army, and we look at it from a historical perspective. It's like statues are put up to edify people, to like show importance.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it comes into like this idolization of the people, as opposed to be like we're all human and we suck, and so like we all fail in a way. And so I think that immortalizing people that way is good because it's historical, but then like instead of tearing them down or disassembling, like if you really have a problem with them in a public place, make a museum, like they just don't have to be destroyed, as opposed to this idea that like do away with it all. It's like, no, there's
just read more about it, because apparently what you're reading wasn't as significant. That's not why they erected the statue. They're not. I mean humans back then when the statue was put up are, and they think alike like we do. They're not going to put something in a public square that this guy was all for slavery. Yay. That's not what it was something that had to do. I don't know. I can't remember what the statue was in Richmond, but you probably remember around the riot times and all that stuff. And then I don't even know when it was, but it's just kind of like in changing sports teams' names from like, I think what the Cleveland Indians had to do that. Now they're what the Commander? No, the Commanders, that's the Redskins, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I understand the Indians and stuff like that, but gosh, how long were they that name, And why do we have to change it now? I mean, they were the Washington football team forever because they couldn't come up with a name, But I mean, they should have just kept that. That would have been great. But I understand, where it would hurt someone's feelings, but it's already been like that for so long. Like Aunt Jemima, the syrup bottle. It's just like that. And that was a real lady. I don't know if you ever read about this, but that was a real lady, and she actually got royalties from that. And so they took her off of it. So now it's, I think it's Pearl Milling. I still eat the syrup, but.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Jemima or not, I'm still it's still good syrup to me.
That's a song, man. Jemima or not.
Yeah, I'll write that when we get done. Me and you collaborated on one. Zach says, I said we don't have to wait for Jimmy, and he said, well, he wrote the damn song. He said he'll be more entertaining than just me. Yeah, that's true, and I don't know Jimmy that well, so that would be nice to get to do it. I'll wait till you guys are ready. Wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. I asked Zach and the Tell No Tales guys to be on the show years ago. Seems like probably around the beginning of the show, but I didn't know Zach very well. But now that I know him, I could bug him to death. You know.
Yep.
So when you want to do it, when you want to do it, when you want to do it, you know. You want to talk wieners, or do you want to listen to the Watchmen first?
I'm down with either.
What's up
honestly,
to you?
they're pretty much the same thing.
I'll leave it up to you.
Wieners. Let's do it.
It's always the wieners first. All right. Here's my dad singing to us about wieners.
I know a weenie man. He owns a weenie stand. He sells most anything from hot dogs on down. Someday I'll join his life and be his
weenie wife.
hot dog. I love that weenie man.
And my mom is on them too. It's my dad. He didn't know that I was going to use that. I don't think, because I had them on
that in a song,
when they were in Hawaii. I had them on the show, and he sang that, and so I made it a soundbite, and I was like, "That's perfect, perfect." So you know what this is all about. You know, it's my roommate Mike has got this all 24-hour craving for hot dogs all the time for some reason, and it's just his favorite food. And see, you're down where the Together Lost guys are. So, do you have a different answer of the best place to go for a hot dog if Mike was to come your way?
Probably. Like I grew up.
Don't say Sheets. You can't say Sheets.
Oh no, gosh, no. That's the convenience hot dog. It's not a good.
It's like the 24-hour hot dog. If you need a hot dog at 3 a.m., go there because it's
for sure.
Yeah.
Probably there's a place in Union, Monroe County, Calico Kitchen. They do pretty good hot dog. Okay. And then I think the Together Lost guys said there's a place right, actually where our school is located in Ballard. That's amazing too. Like they're a corn dog, you know. I'll get that for lunch.
Oh, no. See, I can't do corn dogs. I don't know. It's the corn stuff on the outside. The bread. What's it like? It's like a cornbread, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I just can't. It's all about wieners on a stick. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It's like a Tootsie Pop. You know how many licks will take to get to the center of it, or something.
I don't think you should be licking corn dogs, dude. I mean, like,
you know what I mean? There's that soundbite too. Yeah. What are your topping favorites?
Definitely ketchup and chili.
That's it?
That's the perfect. I think it's like enough of a small amount of ketchup and like just douse it in chili.
See, I thought it was a whole an all of West Virginia thing, but like up this way, you know, everything. If you say I'll have 2 with everything or I'll have 1 with everything, that's only 3 things.
Oh yeah.
Every place knows what you're talking about because there's only 3 ingredients that qualifies for everything. That's chili, mustard, and onions, raw onions. That's everything.
I can't do onions. I might be able to.
I like ketchup every once in a while. I'm like you. Yeah. I like some ketchup in there. But there's some places that will kick you out if you ask for something like 2 with everything and add ketchup. They will kick you out of the store. Some of them. I haven't been kicked out yet, but like sometimes.
Gatekeeping.
I mean, yeah, then but it's a private business.
That's fair. I just don't know how
Zach, you can't answer he's trying to answer this question in the chat room. No, that's for when you're on the show. Mustard, chili, onions, and cheese, 100%. Well, I'm gonna screenshot that, and if it's any different when you're on, then I'm calling you out, buddy. Then I get a discount on the next video. No, we did a he did the video for Dream, and it turned out great. We actually filmed it in the living room. Have you done any videos for your songs?
No, I'm gonna be doing 1 or 2 here soon. Try to just shoot it to Radio WV. A friend of mine had like referenced it to. It's just like local artists that send videos of their like original songs, and they like they sometimes like showcase it on their YouTube channels. So
awesome.
Get together and do something.
I didn't know about that. Yeah.
Yeah, man, check it out. It's pretty cool.
Do that. Yes. He's gonna. He's like, you want to do another video, and the second one that we released is entitled, but it's like about eight and a half minutes, and and just what he said in there, but it's kind of a religious song, but it's not. like the way that I write lyrics is weird. It's like I don't want to say anything that's direct, or anything that's like that's exactly what he's talking about, And then
Yeah.
then if I get asked that question, they'll be like, "Yeah, I was right." It's just it's a not mysterious, but just it's a mystery basically because
I'm a big fan of that allegorical, I guess, type writing. Like it's
yeah
drawing that inspiration. Like my friend Hunter, he gives me crap all the time. He's like, not every song is a 5 minute ballad, but like that's almost every song I write is somewhat like that because
yeah
like with the Watchmen, like you referenced the statue thing, like there are so many little things at the third verse of that's kind of the build up that I don't want anyone to know where I land politically. The whole point of that song is to unite it because it's like there's so much going on and we're looking everywhere. It's like there's so many like the base of that comic book, Alan Moore killed it writing that thing because it's like so many little things that go into today. Like that was written in the 80s and they're so relevant still.
yeah
Just
yeah
like who is making sure that the people in charge are doing like holding their end up.
yeah
And I think that's such a uniting force as opposed to like let's fight about what color we can wear on Tuesday. It's like that. Are you kidding me? Like that's what we're doing, as opposed to like
Yep.
homeless people or homeless veterans don't get VA benefits and they're dying. There's so many things that really matter, and we just don't care.
Yeah, and the people that do care are overrun by the people that don't. You can't.
Yeah.
And it all does come down to government pretty much because that's how things get voted on and passed and laws passed. But there's got to be a point to where you can. I mean, I'm kind of teetering on the edge of political conversation, which is okay. It's fine, but it's it's how do you fix it? Like how do you or when's going to be the movement of people to change? And that's the hardest part. Where does it start? How do you start? Are you going to have enough people to help you start? I mean, somebody's got to start it, and not somebody radical because those people they're on
Oh,
point and they're going to get crap done. Whether you like it or not. It's not those kind of people, but things change. Well, history. You teach history, so it's like things have developed over generations and over time and stuff. How did those things get changed? Like the first woman to vote or the first black voter. There's certain things that have changed. And I mean, what was during the '60s where segregation was kind of like gotten rid of? Like somebody started that, and because there was probably a lot of white people that said, we don't believe in that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely like I mean, early as Truman taking office, like that was a hot button topic, and that's just from 48 around 45 to 48 around that time, all the way up until 57. I mean, and on to 61. That's almost a 20-year gap of like trying to inch towards desegregation.
Yeah,
you think of it now, it's like, oh, that's not that long. It's like 16.
it is though. I mean, yeah. I mean, just think about it. What you were doing 20 years ago, and how you developed personally in those years, and that's how long. I mean, it's just, but things have happened throughout history and have changed for the good, sometimes for the bad. But there's a lot of good things, and that's pretty much what it is. It's just kind of what do they say? Look at history or something like that. There's some kind of a phrase or a saying. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I mean, it's a difficult topic, and you have to be so careful what you say, especially in this realm, because you don't want to get, I don't know, you don't want to get the flack from it, I guess. I don't want Zach yelling at me in the chat, things like, but I mean, I don't think he would, but it's just, I'm the kind of person where I wouldn't want to get in a debate with somebody about it because it's not worth it to me. It is, but it's not, because I don't want to argue with somebody about something that we can't fix. It's just an argument at that point. So
I definitely enjoy talking about it because it's good to shoot the breeze, not so much to like, oh, it means nothing. It affects a lot of things, and so it's nice to have that dialogue. But I wish that dialogue was being had by the people who actually had the power. We're a small part of it. Voting matters, but on the grand scheme of it, the people that are elected, they're just, the process of what goes on at Congress and on Capitol Hill is just lobbying, accepting money, and calling people that fund you, and it's just like there's no actual things going on. And I don't want to get political. It's just like
right, yeah, you're good.
You're
fine, yeah.
That's just how it happens. There's so much. I think there was a study done that like almost over 60% of a senator's time in office was calling back lobbyists and like fielding those calls. It's like that's not even like that's a greater than half of their time, and it's not doing anything for their constituents. So it's like, where is that gone wrong? You know?
Yeah, and then it comes down to, well, what would you do differently, or what would you do to change it? You know, but
it's a touchy subject. I mean, like
you get a group together and that kind of has the same. I don't know what you do. You know, there's so many things you could do, or run for office. I am not running for office. I'll tell you that much.
No, I'm not. No one's electing a bald guy. Like that's for sure. Like I
well, I mean, if you look at Congress, I'm sure 90% of them, even the women, are bald.
They're just really nice toupees.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, don't go out in the breeze because no. I thought that was Zach that said that, but Dalton said they're gatekeeping how we enjoy wieners now. That's true. The government is getting involved. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about how about the ketchup people ketchup and you get kicked out. I mean, I think there's one place that Mike told me about. I won't mention their name. Yans in Fairmont has kicked somebody else out. Kicked somebody out for asking for ketchup on their everything hot dog. So if you don't ask for everything, you just say I'll have ketchup, mustard, onions, and chili. Man. That way, it's not on the everything hot dog, even though it is, because that's what everything. That's a touchy subject.
Oh yeah. Do you think
I didn't think the wiener segment was going to go this long, but I mean it's been going for about a year now, strong, hot and heavy.
I'm for it.
Hot and heavy wiener conversation.
There might be a division of the U.S. government that has like, how in Men in Black they have like the little things, but instead of that, it's like a wiener, and they just like.
You would think. I mean, that would be. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about that. It's like, you know what? He's right. You know what?
They're out there, man.
Yeah. So we could have a conversation about aliens. Speaking of they're out there, but we're kind of short on time, and I don't want to lose time without listening to the Watchmen, because the Watchmen are the ones watching the aliens, right?
Yeah, they're
right. Okay. So Mike's my roommate that started the wiener segment. He wants to call it the hot dog segment, and I was like, well, it'll be the hot dog segment when you do it. But
yeah,
and it's wieners. But he always puts the eyeballs in the chat. Probably can't see it, but the emoji eyeballs right there. Yeah, it's hard to show it on the freaking screen, but yeah, the ones like that. He never really chats. He doesn't even like to be on the show. He's on the show for like 10 seconds once. And I think he waved one time. Anyway, well, let's take a listen to who's watching The Watchmen, and we'll do a test afterwards for Dalton and Zach only, Zach Neese, on what they think the answer to that question is.
Heck yeah, dude.
I don't know. All right, check it out.
I don't know either, man.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom while we're listening to this, but I'll be right back.
Sirens sound across the night. The riots carry on, many years protesting in peace, yet somehow did it wrong. We fought in wars that meant nothing, and grown so tired of this machine. The ones that said they would bring change have only furthered pain. But as we go about our daily lives and do what we want to do, who's watching those who hold the power over me and over you? All the manies type figures ruling the government and they're fooling all of us. We look to the Watchmen, now realize that we misplaced all that trust. But who's watching the Watchmen if not us? The media, they fan the flame. They say the other side's to blame. They poke and prod, stoke the fear, and tell you what you wanna hear. But we follow on their every word Any difference just absurd. Our echo chambers are the death of change, but we'll go about our silly little lives and do what we want to do, while those in power go unchecked. And in the shadows move Ozymandias type figures ruling the government, and they're fooling all of us. We look to the watchmen, now realize that we misplaced all that trust. But who's watching the watchmen if not us? Now there's death in the streets by men in blue, and no one bats an eye. But when the slavers' monuments have come down, the marble means much more than life. You're guilty till proven innocent. Your free speech and press are limited. If you don't abide by the rules, the culture comes to cancel you. No, you can't learn from that mistake. Apologize for the jokes or bad takes. There are more pressing issues at hand. Irreversible damage to the climate. Big tech owns a major monopoly. Homeless veterans are dying in the streets. School shootings are now a mainstay. Politicians in the pocket of the NRA. Gone are the days of civil discourse, and now we loot and we pick up the pitchforks. The next day while the headlines fly, Rupert Murdoch's cronies are saying that they're colorblind. The mouse has a content hold and the masses are distracted, looking at their cell phones. Teen suicide is on the rise, but nobody cares because we're too desensitized. Seemingly locked in this endless war of my side is better than yours. Well, at least I use my brain, said the completely insane. We can't unite, there's a divide, red or blue, left wing or right. We played right into their hands, puppets fueled by public dissent. There is no wrong, there is no right, half-hearted pandering sufficed, showing its head most prevalent in misguided morals and intent. If we could just sit down and talk, engage in productive dialogue, ideologies could change. But until that day, we'll go about our stupid little lives and do what we want to do, while those in power go unchecked. And in the shadows move Ozymandias type figures ruling the government. Yeah, they've done fooled all of us. We look to the watchmen, now realize that we misplaced all that trust. But who's watching the watchmen if not us? Who's watching the watchmen?
Man, I was trying to get back in here as quick as possible because I wanted to hear that towards the end where you start spilling all that off, and that has to be difficult to play and sing that calmly, because based on what you're saying is it would, for a band that screams, that would be the part. You know what I mean? Like that would be the part they would start. Sure. But you don't your voice does go up. It goes octaves up, which is that's perfect octave. I mean, like I don't even know how you get to that because based on like okay, Life Without Meaning, you're pretty much just singing low the entire time, but you're hitting octaves that you didn't the listener doesn't even know that you have.
Yeah. Way
up, and that's terrific. I can't. I've tried to do that, even with a processor, and I can't do it. But it's really good, and I do get it. I don't know if you heard this on the last show with Together Lost, but I hate comparing people to other people.
Yeah,
like mainstream bands, and mainstream singers. But I am getting some Chris Martin, a lot of it from Coldplay. I'm getting a lot, especially in more so with Life Without Meaning. That's who I thought of first, which that's a great thing because he's very good. But it still has your own spin on it because you're talking about what you want to talk about, and I don't even think he plays much guitar. I think it's a lot of piano that he plays.
Mhm.
in their stuff, but it still has your own spin on it. So don't take it the wrong way that I'm
Oh no, dude,
hating Chris Martin.
top praise, dude.
But I do hear a lot of Chris Martin in there, which is that's awesome. I think.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah. Do you have another? This is fairly new though, right? This
Yeah,
this album?
I've been sitting on, I've got about 40 in like either finished or working. So I'm just trying to work through like getting as much time as I can to set aside, getting into a studio setting, recording them, and then releasing them. But that's just the first batch. Hopefully, towards the end of the year, I'll get to step away from teaching just for like on a weekend and try to hard hit some songs and get some more.
Do you want to do anything different with them, like musically? Like do you want to play another instrument with some of them, or is it mainly just going to stay like it is?
The Watchmen started out on piano, and it was a really cool like build up because I was going through individually with the notes and going up the octaves, and that's where that like octave shift comes from. Was it originally was on piano, but I started playing it more. It's like, man, I'm not trying to lug out my synth every time I go play out. So I just translated it to guitar, and it just turned out probably better than it ever was on piano. I'll probably eventually release a piano version just because that's where it all started.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I'd love to do is go back to the ones that a lot of people were responding to, like Mr. Buzzkill, Life Without Meaning, The Watchmen, and put some more instrumentation in it. But that's
kind of build them a little bit. But yeah, that takes time, and maybe that's for later on when you put out what they call it, like remastered or remixed or whatever.
Yeah, that one will be like Tarzan in a blue sedan or something. Like it's not gonna be.
Now, do you have any? I'm a sticker guy. I got stickers for a lot of people that have either been on the show or just bands that I'd listened to. And of course, there's 123 Pleasant Street up there, which is a venue up this way. But do you have any stickers made? And if you don't, I think the Tarzan in the minivan sticker would be perfect, like big.
Man. Yeah, I've got some. I'll send you.
Awesome. Yes, I just did a reorder of. I don't even think I have an example of the bumper sticker. You might have saw it on the other show. I've gotten rid of all of them, but I just ordered 100 smaller stickers. So these won't be bumper stickers, but they'll be 4x2s, I think. So they'll still be relatively big, but they're just not bumper stickers like 7 by whatever. And I was like, for one thing, it's difficult to put that in my back pocket when I go to a show and hand them out, because they're going to get wrinkled when I sit down, and it's just much easier to. I would like to get more stickers to give out than worry about the size of them and bumpers. So I got 100 of them coming in a couple weeks. It takes them a couple weeks to send them. So I will send you. I will trade stickers with you.
Heck yeah, dude.
And we got. Let me grab one here. Hang on. For those of you that might follow the band thing that I'm doing, we do have. Whoops, I did get stickers made for those. Natural color stickers, and these are transparent actually. So if you put them on something black, you ain't gonna see it. Basically, is what I'm saying, because it's So we got those too. Those just came in the other day. To the moon, or whatever they say, To the moon. Well, this is the end of the show, I think. It's nice chatting with you.
Yeah, dude,
about everything. We did cover quite a bit, which is good. I like that. I like the change of that. I like the change of conversation sometimes. Usually it's lawnmowers or wieners for a long period of time, especially if there's a lot of members of the band on. But yeah, I think it's important to talk about some of those things. Whether we debate it, whether we disagree with it, it's important for people to interact about it.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
That's
I'm
one of
not
my big
a motivational speaker. I'm just a weird
killing it.
podcast person that does a wiener segment for some reason. What's your favorite candy bar?
Oh, whatchamacallit?
I can't remember if I've had one of those or not.
They're so good, dude.
I can never remember the name of them. That's why when I go to
Nice.
That was horrible. That was an awful joke.
That was solid, man. That was solid.
That was for Bathtub Bobby, by the way. That joke right there. Sunday, I'll be back on at a little earlier in the afternoon at 4 p.m. with a band in Baltimore. Very good band. They're kind of like a prog, what we were talking about, kind of mathy, but kind of shoegaze a little bit too.
That's awesome.
The lead singer has a very high pitched voice, and it's gonna be fun to talk about him. I have lots of music questions for them, and a little bit about Baltimore. some questions about that, and just wieners. For the
Yeah,
most
man.
part. For the most part, it'll be about wieners and music. Wieners and music. Maybe I'll change the name of this to Wieners and Music.
I was gonna say, if that's not an album, that's just
It's a podcast. Yeah, Wieners and Music Live
yeah, man.
coming at you. Nice and okay. I'm not. my mother's probably watching, so okay. So I do this at the end of every show. Well, I try to do it at the end of every show. Sometimes I don't know who's going to be on the next show, so I can't change the marquee. But this see, it's like being a weather guy. Everything's like backwards. But this, okay. So this marquee is not the original one that I had 3 years ago. That one is over there on the wall because it fell off the wall so many times. These things are just that cheap wooden stuff. Dalton says Weenie Tunes. That's actually very good. Weenie Tunes.
That's why you gotta have him on. He's the brains. I'm
Campbell
everything.
Paul Campbell says staying for the wieners. Well, the wieners is over with now, so you'll have to come back Sunday for the wieners. What? Maybe I'll do a special wiener episode later on my OnlyFans. That was horrible. Oh, I do have it right here. There's one right here. That was the bumper sticker I had. So basically, it'd be the same thing, just smaller. That's what she said, right? All right.
Yep.
So I'm going to change. I'm going to wipe Zach Elmore from there, but you're welcome to come back on so I can put it back up there again.
Yeah, man.
Anytime we'll showcase the song. We'll do the midnight drop of the new song or whatever you want to do. I'm always up for a show.
Awesome, man. Yeah, thanks.
And we don't have to talk about wieners. The second time you're on, that's one perk. The second time that you're on, we don't have to talk about that because we already know. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Unless I forget, and then we'll do it again. But I'm going to change this to In Shallow Seas as we listen to this band. I haven't heard from them yet. I've sent them a message. They saw that I tagged them in the story of you being on, and I'm going to play their song at the end here. So hopefully we can get them on the show to find out all about them. I think they're from. I don't want to get it wrong. But I think they're from Florida, somewhere in Florida. I think Tampa, maybe. I don't know.
Sweet.
I don't know. They could be. We'll just say they're from the South.
Nice.
Could be anywhere. That
Could be anywhere.
Could be New Mexico. Oh, speaking of states, real quick. So when I was preparing what I was going to do on the 3-year episode, which was nothing really special, I was going through the entire list of 200 and at the time 201 guests to see where has been represented and where hasn't. And I have that list somewhere on my tablet. But I've done about 26 states and 13 countries. Now the countries are going to be way more difficult to get. It's probably going to be never. That's a long-term goal. Like get every country in the world. I mean, that's like there's a lot of little tiny countries that probably don't even have musical instruments. You know, like you can't get it. But there's got to be a good musician or a good band from every state in the union. There's got to be.
Sure.
So, I don't want to post a list of them or anything. You know, they just happen. You know, bands find me or I find them, and it doesn't matter where they're from because it's it's just the way it goes. But there are I got about half of them.
Heck yeah, man.
So there's got to be a Wyoming metal band. Got to be.
I mean, you would think.
Or it's like the states that like the plain states, Kansas.
Yeah.
I had them in Minnesota. That was Crash Cuddle. They're from Minneapolis. But like Wyoming and North and South Dakota and like see, I can't even think. But yeah, it's like the ones that aren't like less populated places, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So if you know of any Wyoming hardcore bands or a Wyoming mentalist or I want to get somebody from Wyoming. I don't know why. Just I need to see what they're doing there because you don't hear about Wyoming in the news. You don't hear about anything. Yeah. Is it another country? Are they getting free healthcare from Canada? I mean, what's going on in Wyoming? I need to know this.
That's the next Watchmen. That's the sequel.
Who's
watching Wyoming?
Wyoming, hit me up. Wyoming, where you at? I used to be a DJ. I really did in Morgantown.
That's pretty sweet.
Well, it was
a gig, though. I mean,
it was. Yeah, I wasn't really paid well. I don't know whether it was my level of talent or what, but I had a good time doing it. It was a lot of fun.
That's all that matters, man.
But I was forced to listen to hip hop all the time,
If it's not like 90s.
No, it was like the latest, but it was the good I mean, it was way after getting jiggy with it, but it was was it when Lil Wayne came out?
Oh yeah.
That guy, yeah. So every song, he was in every song. 50 Cent was out. It was huge.
If it's not Today Was a Good Day by Cube, it's not.
Oh,
it's not.
yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes I could. Yeah, like
I
I
love
prefer
that
old
song.
school.
That's
Yeah.
like my high school Zach. Like that is my anthem because it's obviously a ginger. Like that makes.
You should cover it.
It's the same. It's like D minor, F, C, G. Like I've got the chords and everything. I just feel like it probably would vibe.
I look forward to hearing your version of it on the next show. I was going to ask you if you wanted to play on the show today, but I didn't want to.
Oh no, you're fine, man. Yeah.
So you want? Well, we'll do it on the next show. Show.
I'll have Today Was a Good Day ready.
Or I'll drive down there. We'll have a cookout of wieners and fixins with the Together Lost guys, and we'll do a show with just you. We won't even feature them at all.
That would be a disservice to them. They're way better.
We'll have Dalton there. He'll laugh the whole time, and it'll be a banger. We'll make it a banger. Here's this band's called Divide Inside. Like I said, I think they're from Tampa, but I'm not sure. I'm confident that they are. I don't know where they're from. Divide Inside. The song's called Daydreaming. I believe it just came out. It's one of their newer songs. So if you guys are watching, come on the show so I can learn about you. We can talk wieners, and I'll race you off the board. But we'll put you back there. Come back on the show.
For sure, man. Yeah.
It's talking to you. Have a great. What is it? Is this what day is this? Friday, isn't it? Yeah.
Friday.
Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend.
Hey, man.
We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome.
And thank you guys out there for chatting. If you haven't subscribed, damn it, subscribe because for some reason it helps the algorithm or something. Or hit the thumbs up thing. And I don't know what people do. You know how people say this stuff at the end of their things, but it does help with something. So do that on there. So here's Divide Inside with Daydreaming. We'll see you. Have a great weekend.